comment made with respect to action versus mere words. I thought that was something that we should all hear. And it's difficult, I think, for me anyway, it's a difficult situation. How does one reconcile your existence with the present day that we have and that we find ourselves in, and the educational aspect of it? And I think ultimately it is a matter of education. That's what this all means. And it should mean to all of us as citizens of this country that the education on truth and reconciliation is one and the same thing. It has to continue on, and it will, of course. And I think that's a good thing for our citizenship. It's a good thing for our younger generation. I come from the old guard. I'm probably the oldest here. And I have a different perspective of things. No, RCR is even younger than me. But I'm from Saskatchewan originally, and it was a different situation for me moving to the coast when I was a kid. The Cree Nation was big, and there was a lot of, in my school, a tremendous number of Métis in Saskatoon. It was a brand new school in those days, and it was something that was a learning experience for me, because, or not, I guess ultimately when I'm older, you know, when you're a kid, a lot of your confreres are Aboriginal or Métis kids. And that's the way life was in my view. I joined the Army, and well, prior to that I was a cadet. And you go to cadet camps in the 1960s, and I was talking to my wife about this before I left. A great percentage of the kids who were in cadets were Aboriginal Métis. And a lot of them in my area were French speaking. And it was funny, you'd have a Padres hour, and the Padre would give out missiles and things like that. It would be all in French. And, you know, we were all a group. It was all that. It was just because, you know, I'm not Aboriginal, but all my pals in that group, they were. And there was just two guys from Vancouver who weren't. But we fit in, I guess. Those were my experiences. You get into the Army, and it was the same thing. I was proud to say, in my regiment, proud to say, we've had Aboriginal soldiers in our regiment from day one. Day one. And I've often heard it said, it doesn't matter who you are, as long as you do your job. And I think you're part of that team, and I think some of the benefits, I guess, ultimately for me, with cadets, with the Army, is that teamwork aspect of things, not based on anything else other than doing your job. And I always looked at that as a very positive thing in my life. And I look back at it, and I'm proud, having gone to that new school in Saskatoon, because it defined me in a lot of ways, and it continued on throughout my life. So anyway, enough said on my part. It's still a learning experience for me. Tonight's a learning experience for me. And so I thank you very much, Kelly, for inviting me. I'm always honored and pleased to be on parade with our Aboriginal veterans on November 8th on the National Parade. I think it's a very good thing. I think it looks good for our city, and it's good for all of us, because we're all brothers and sisters. It's real simple. Thank you.
Baik, terima kasih.